Greetings, wonderful well-beings. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Key, and today I just have a message from the heart today. So I did like a heart meditation last night, like going to sleep. I've been having trouble going to sleep, so like really putting on like meditation music and stuff really helps. And I put on like this heart meditation last night, and I've been having a lot of dreams too lately. So yeah, the heart meditation, I feel like gave me this message today, because I woke up and actually someone sent me a video too about how it's a video about how it's the title God Paid My Rent by Hello Brooklyn. Y'all know that YouTube channel. And she was just saying how, you know, it was prophesied that she would, you know, get a blessing of money and on a certain day, and she got like $1,300 to pay her rent, and she didn't even ask anybody, right? She asked God, you know, and pretty much that's what this video is about. The main thing is blessings don't come from man, they come from God. Like, blessings don't come from man, they come from God. But God can use people. God, the universe, you know, whichever you want to call it, God, the universe, the source, the creator. It comes from the source. It comes from the universe. And it can use people to bestow that blessing upon your life, yes. But they didn't come from that person, you know, themselves. Like, God uses people and moves people to do things, to bring blessings, you know. If a person is called to do something for you, it was because God moved them. And even with ourselves, if we're just called to like do something for somebody or just do a certain thing, we don't even know why, it's because God is moving you, you know. God is just moving you, you know. And some people listen, some people don't, but I think that is just important to always remember that it is from God, and everything is from God. Everything is from the source. Every single thing, even your happiness. So let's say you want to manifest, you know, a relationship. Even in a relationship, let's say you want to manifest a relationship, and you're asking God, you know, you're being patient, and you just give it to God. You're like, I want good man in my life, a partner, you know, and you manifest it, and then God gives you that man. And see, that's why it's so important to put God first. And this ain't like this is just I'm spiritually expanded from, I'm not gonna get into it, but this is just as spirituality as a whole, like, put God first in all things, you know. Put the universe first in all things. That put source first, the creator, before all things, because that is where everything comes from. So back to say you're in a relationship, or you ask for a relationship and you get the man, right? And now you're putting all your eggs in his basket. the guy that you manifested, or girl, you know, the guy or girl you manifested, now you're putting all your eggs in that basket, and you forget that that's not who sent you that person, you know. They wasn't the one. They're not the ones who are supposed to be giving you stuff. They're not your supply. God is the supply. God is the supply of all things. And that's what I feel like a lot of people do. They get in a relationship, and then they start to rely on that person for things, when that's not. And that's how I feel personally. Like, that's why a lot of relationships don't work out, because now you're trying to put all this heavy load on this person when that's not their job to carry. You're supposed to be relying on God for all things, you know? And that's what happens, you know? And then we get mad at a person because they can't provide us with the things that we're asking for, when we're supposed to be going to God and asking God for these things. And it's always like that. Like even happiness, you ask, you want happiness in your life, you ask for happiness, and then you get happiness, and then somebody comes along and you allow them to like take away your happiness, or you're blaming them, you're blaming another person for taking away your happiness. How can someone take away your happiness when they wasn't ever the source of your happiness, when they were never the provider of your happiness? God, the universe, was always the one providing you with all things. So how can someone take something away that they didn't give you, I got it written down on a little sticky note. Like, how can somebody make you unhappy if they were never the source of your happiness? Think about that. How can somebody take away your happiness if they wasn't ever the source of your happiness? That's why putting God first and making sure God, the universe, is the source of your happiness. You're the source of everything. Your supply, your infinite supply. When you put God first and you putting it in His hands, God's hands, universe, you know that it's an infinite supply. It's an infinite supply, abundance. It's abundant. Like, you don't have to worry for anything, So I think when we put it in man's hands, when we try to put it in another human's hands, our blessings, that's when we limit ourselves. We limit ourselves by forgetting that that's not the source. Man is not the source. God works through man. And that was pretty much the message that I got today, and I felt like that was something I needed to hear too. Like, because even things like every single thing, you ask God for something and say you want a certain position or a job or something, opportunity, and you apply or you have an interview or go for that opportunity and it doesn't work out, and then you're like sad, like, or mad about it, and in reality that wasn't for you. Like, that wasn't God's plan for you. Like, God that wasn't the path He had for you. And that's how I look at things now. I'm like, if it don't work out, that just wasn't meant for me. God, I know what I asked for. If I ask God for a certain thing and then something's placed in front of me and I get rejected or, told no, then that wasn't the one that God sent for me. That's it. It's nothing to be mad about or frustrated. That it's just like, God is going to come through on His promise. God is going to come through on His promise, but that just wasn't the one. So don't be discouraged because you got rejected on that one. God's just like, that's not the one. That ain't the one. You probably got to be a little more patient, but if you ask, you shall receive. And certainly if you believe, it's just, we can't try to make or force something to be the one for us when God knows, So it's like, if it's rejected, it's like, all right, it's coming, it's coming. You just got to keep that belief, and don't be discouraged. So yeah, that's it. And I think that's a really powerful word, and I'm so thankful to receive it. And that is all. I hope everybody's staying well out there. You already know we win in wellness. Put your crowns on and keep your crowns on, because we winning. And put God first. You guys take care. Peace.